What's up, people? Coming at you back with another video. So I didn't even know that somebody had responded to one of my videos. They had made a video in response to something that I said, and I'm very excited about it, and I'm happy to get into it. So you know, as you guys know, I go by Solamite Fly. If you want a definition or what that means to me, we can talk about that. I'll make a video about it eagerly to let y'all know what that name means to me. But it's Solamite Fly, as in I have soul and I'm mighty, and I'm fly. So let's get into this video. This woman is responding. I don't even know her name. Her name is Queen Cee Cee. And greetings to you, Queen Cee Cee. I give honors to you. First of all, I give praise and honors to the most great God, the most high God, Allah. And you know, Allah is making this possible for us so that we can have a conversation. And this is what I got into this stuff anyways for, because I want to engage in conversation with people. Now, let me say also too, before I do this, before I start playing a video, because I'm going to be commenting and referring to your video, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want to take notes and I don't want to miss anything, so I just want to respond directly to your video. And this is not to cause any confrontation, this is not to start an argument, this is not to debate. I'm not here to debate, I'm just here to learn the truth, and the truth that I learn is for me, the truth that you learn is for you. But I do honor and value your opinion and the things that you have to say, Queen Cee Cee, and anybody else that has to say, because yes, I could be wrong. I'm not right about everything. You're not right about everything. You can be wrong, but there are things that we right about, and that stuff that we are right about is the truth that we find from Allah, from our God, that we find within us, because God is within us. The nearest place that we can meet God is in our heart, meaning that it's inside of us, in our core, because we are one with God. And that's the whole point of all this. So this is not, again, to be condescending or to tell you that you don't know something, or to tell you that I'm right, or to tell you, you know, that you're wrong. That's not what this is about. I'm just simply responding to your video out of love, to honor you and your video, to let you know that you are seen, just like how you're letting me know that I'm seen. I'm letting you know that you are seen. And I see that you have beautiful olive dark skin. So, you know, you have something special about you. And you know, I would like to learn that, and whatever lesson that you have to give to me, you know, if you're willing to teach, I'm willing to learn. But I'm not going to just accept anything somebody says, because that's what life experience has taught me. You know, I can't do that. I have to go by what I find to be true. So let's get into it.
You give man too much credit. You know, this is one thing I have to agree with Cam B on. Cloning don't exist.
Okay, so let me respond to that little part that you just gave. I'm not gonna do too much pausing or like responding to like every little thing, but I do want to respond directly to you and what you're saying. So it seems that, you know, you're saying for me that I don't seem too educated about God. You know, that's your opinion. That's fair. You know, I could say the same thing about you, but I don't know you that well to say anything. And I don't think I would ever say that to you anyways, because we're all on the same journey to get closer to God and to learn more about God. Because that's the whole unity of life, you know, is everybody realizing their relationship with God. So yes, I'm still learning, and I'm still, you know, it takes lifetimes upon lifetimes, it takes ages, it takes cycles to learn the lessons that we need to learn. Just on a human level, we take lifetimes to learn just how to be human, you know. So yeah, I got things to learn about God, But as far as cloning goes, you're saying that cloning isn't real. I think it is. The reason why, and I've talked to you about this in the comments, because you responded to one of my videos saying that it is real. But the thing about me is that I actually do research and I look into things and I do talk to God to get answers. And through my research and through talking to God and life experiences, I have found no evidence to claim that cloning isn't real. And it's just that simple. Now, I'm not obsessed about cloning. I'm not obsessed about learning about cloning. I'm not obsessed about learning who's a clone. It was just something that I was interested in because I've heard stories about people and, I was just interested about what's going on in the world and if cloning's real, I wanted to know about it. And as when I was learning about it, it took a couple years to actually learn about it. And through everything that I found, cloning there's no reason to debunk it. There's no reason to say that it's not real because there's so many things that happen in this world. There's so many possibilities. Not to be long-winded, I yield the floor to you.
Did they try? Yes. Okay, but a man cannot clone another human being.
Okay, so if you're going to say that, for me to learn more about what you're saying and if you're saying it's true, what I need is that I need evidence and I need backing. I need something to back you up on why you're saying that. You're saying it's not real. Okay, so how is it not real? Why is it not real? Can you prove to me that it's not real on a scientific level, on just practical level? Just tell me, how does it work? Because on a practical level, cloning is real, and people can, scientists can clone people. They're people. People can clone other people. Okay, it's not like this is like wacky out there science. Like, we have technology and weapons and other beings and other organisms out there that we can't even imagine exist, but does exist. There's things on this earth right now, on this very earth, that you don't even know are real and that's going on. There's technology on this earth that you don't even realize exists and is going on. And why am I saying that? Because I've seen evidence for it, hard proof evidence, that there is things in this world way beyond our imagination that we don't even think is real, but it's going on. And that's what encourages me to look into more, because it intrigues me. I'm like, why is these things hidden from us? So I go into things like that, and one of those things were cloning. So when I looked into cloning, there is no reason not to believe it. It's very possible that it's going on. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't see I don't see anything that points in the direction of it not existing. Do you understand what I'm saying? This universe is way too expansive. Just as Earth alone is way too expansive. Okay? Like, learning about how the Earth is flat is crazy to me. It's crazy. I never thought that I would go down that route, but I had to be true with myself and I had to be honest with the logic that was being presented. Okay? And when you fight for truth and you actually go for the truth, you're going to have challenges like that. So there's things on this earth that are real that we don't know.
It is enough. They have enough trouble trying to artificially inseminate a woman to become pregnant. That's not true at all. They can make people become pregnant artificially. It's just, I don't know how to explain it to you. But yeah, it can be done. There's women that have became pregnant, without a man. So if they can do that, think about what scientists can do. Just knowing that they know so much about the body, like beyond what we know. Like, these energies that I'm talking about, these beings that know how to do this knowledge is been built upon for millennia, for over centuries, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. The human body has been studied. You don't think that they understand consciousness and understand how the body works? They know. We don't know because we're kept in the dark about it, but they know. There are people in this world that like to keep secrets. I don't know why, but they like to keep secrets.
So where does this body come from? You know, to clone a whole person. Take Dave Chappelle for instance. Yes, he came back a little different, but look how long he's been gone. He had to kind of watch what he said. But that's the same Dave Chappelle. Just been off of work for a while and just sitting back smoking weed and got fat. That's all that was.
Okay, so yeah, that's an easy story to go with. Of course, I understand that story. That's what they want us to think. Okay, I saw Dave Chappelle come back. They wanted, but the thing is that since I'm an investigator, I like to dig deep into things and actually find out what's going on. Because Dave Chappelle did look different, and it made me question, because I've already learned about, you know, like Hollywood and Illuminati things and demons, like from, you know, virtual experience and personal experience. And I also have experience with angels too. However, there's, how do I say this, man? I don't really know how to say what's on my mind concisely, but I've seen how they talk about cloning centers and they have images of cloning centers in media way too much for it not to be a coincidence, for it just to be a coincidence. What I mean, they're putting that stuff in there for a reason. That stuff comes from reality. Those images of people being in tanks come from reality. It's not just a people's imagination. Whenever people are drawing something or they're making something or they're doing something artistic, it's always coming from some type of reality. That is how this universe works. Everything comes from everything. We're all connected. So when you think of something, it's coming from somewhere. When you do an image, you're doing an image based on something that you know. There are people that have too many artistic renditions of cloning centers or things where people are being born in tubes. Okay? And then another thing is that I've seen evidence of people acting, you know, basically, how I say, not being human. We live in a spiritual world. This is not just a physical world. This is also a spiritual world. Do you know that? Well, just to answer your question directly so I can keep on moving along, because I don't want to, there's so much I want to say, but I want to give you the honor of speaking. But where does the body come from? Well, you have to actually go investigate yourself to go figure that out and ask God, because God will let you know. Now, God is not going to tell you everything, but God is going to tell you what you need to know, and he will honor your questions. And, you know how God works. God does what's best for everybody in their best interest. So if it's not meant for you to know, it's not meant for you to know. But you will know if you get on that path and you actually try. You know, you will see how easily the human body can be it can be copied. It's not going to be perfect, but it can be imitated. It can be copied, you know, and it can be grown. So,
okay, you had some person, could have been Dave Chappelle himself, pretending to be someone else. Because if that was really true, if I knew something, I'm going to show my face. That shit was sketchy to me. That this person comes out and say Dave Chappelle was cloned. And
so it's sketchy that I come out and say it's clone. Is that the first time you ever heard that? If that's the first time you ever heard that, I really encourage you on looking into the subject and actually doing your research. Now, don't rush into it because it's going to take time. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to put together to connect the dots to see the picture for yourself. However, from my personal experience, I'll go ahead and share that there was this woman on the internet, and she disguised her voice, clearly disguised her voice, saying that she was Dave Chappelle's cousin. I think she tried to make it sound like it was a male, but it was definitely a female. It was obviously a female to me. And she told the story about how she was close with Dave Chappelle and how it was Dave Chappelle's cousin. They talked all the time, and she talked about how the transition that when he went through that phase, and he ran away from his show, ran away from the money, went to Africa because he had to clear his mind because crazy things were happening in Hollywood. that coincides with what I was already learning and what I've already been shown about Hollywood, how there is evil, there's evilness in these places that have power. These people that have power, they do succumb to evil things. And so with that story that woman was telling, she gave her personal account of how Dave Chappelle stopped talking to her. Not only Dave Chappelle, but Dave Chappelle's family cut ties with the cousin, when the cousin before that was somebody that Dave Chappelle confided in regularly on his emotional level and his emotional state. They were like friends. They were like really good friends from her story. Now, to me, I have to look at it with discernment. Is she lying or not? Now, her story seemed very true. To me, I heard honesty in her voice. The way that her story was connecting and how she was telling it, it seemed like it was coming from the heart. It sounded to me that she was drawing from real memories and real experiences. It didn't sound like a story to me. It didn't sound like she was telling a story. It didn't sound like she was acting or that she was lying. Now, I will admit I can be naive sometimes. And I can my imagination wants to believe in things. But I have to battle that within myself. That's a self thing that I have to do, because I want to find truth, and I can't allow those things to keep me from finding truth. So with her, yes, she could be an actor now, and to keep it in perspective, I can always be wrong. So that woman could be an actor. But one thing that kind of caught me was that I found myself listening to her later on a different channel. It was one channel before, and then she switched up the name. I'm not going to tell it because she wants to keep it a secret, so I'm going to honor her secret. But I found myself listening to her, and I was like, wait a minute. This woman has the same voice as Dave Chappelle's cousin. So I went back and forth listening to the voices. I'm like, that's the same voice, same speech patterns, same cadence, same everything. And I could tell because it wasn't that good of a voice disguiser, so I could tell. It was basically just a pitch. And, I listen to audio all the time. I make music, so it's easy for me to pick up little things on people's voices. And so what I did to figure out if that really was the same woman, because it sounded so much like her, so I went into her comments and started making comments about Dave Chappelle, just randomly. No matter what her video that she popped up, I would write comments in the videos. This is how I go through the investigative process. This is how I do my research. Okay, I do it privately for me because I have to do it for me first to find the truth. And that's why I came out saying that I think Dave Chappelle is cloned. And to me, it's very clear. Now, let me continue with my story. And the way that she responded in a way that kind of gave herself up and let me know that she had something to protect. She had something to protect. Okay? And I think it was for her life because of the way that she talked on her show. She was very aware of the dangers and how cautious she needed to be with the information that she was putting out onto her channel. And she was doing it with a family member. They had like a little team that they did. And I still think they do it today too. I'm not subscribed to that channel anymore because I found out what I needed to know and I moved on. And she was very cautious about the dangers and how, she had to that's why she disguised her voice to tell that story about Dave Chappelle. Now, she doesn't want her identity found out, and she doesn't want her stuff out there to protect herself and her family. So when I put that out there, she immediately came on, protecting herself. And I did it again, just to get some more information out of her to see what she would write back. And it came clear to me that this woman, because she automatically, I didn't tell her that I commented on another video saying that was Dave Chappelle's cousin. And on one of her videos, she talks about how there was a commenter on one of these videos saying that she was Dave Chappelle's cousin, and she felt the need to say directly saying that I am not Dave Chappelle's cousin. That was not me. And she went into detail trying to defend how that was not her voice. And all those things, it just kind of told me, I'm like, this woman, this is Dave Chappelle's cousin, because how would she find that? I didn't mention that video to her. Somebody had to mention that video to her. So, that was just a little bit of evidence for me to confirm, okay, something weird did go on with Dave Chappelle, and this is a real this is a real story, and I have like hard evidence that a family member was close to him and is continuing on trying to continue the fight of putting out information and this fight against evil, basically. And so I told her, the last thing I wrote back to her, and I was like, hey, we all got secrets. Your secret's safe with me, and I will not mention this anymore. And that's when I unsubscribed. And they, I noticed that they continued on doing their thing, but I think they had some relief too, knowing that, okay, this guy, he knows the truth, and we're happy about that. It was a telepathic thing as well. 'Cause I never really talked to these people in person, but that's my long spiel. I'll let you continue. But that's one of the reasons why I consider Dave Chappelle, among other things, why I consider Dave Chappelle, the new one, the modern day one, a clone. You have to have the eyes to see.
Now, he's the same age Dave Chappelle was. This clone is the same age. That's not possible. Okay?
We need to take that word, and we need to be very cautious about how we use what's possible and what's not possible. Reason why is because the only thing that is impossible is going against God. That's really the only thing that is possible. Just about anything else is possible because we live in such an expansive universe. So it is possible that they can grow a body to look like Dave Chappelle, and they could do it at any age. All they need is just a certain whatever they need, like DNA, whatever, because DNA is like the instructions for the human body. The DNA is the blueprint for how a person is made from their genomes. It has their ancestors' information, and it has information on what makes them them. It doesn't have there's some type of consciousness about it, but it's not the consciousness of a person, but it can be replicated. If they know about DNA like that, and I'm pretty sure they know way more about DNA than they let out to be, way more about consciousness and how it works than they let out to be. That's why they made the movie Get Out. That's why they make these things about mind control and these things about, how people messing with people's minds, because they understand how consciousness works. Okay? So it is very possible that it's possible.
Y'all give men too much credit. Okay? Men cannot do that. They don't have what God has. Okay?
Okay, so quick comment on that. I'm not giving men credit, in my opinion. I'm not giving men credit that they're doing something that God only has the power to do. Now, God, we are co-creators with God. We are able to create other human beings. We are able to think. We are able to problem solve. We are able to invent things. We are able to tap into the mind of God and do what God does because we are co-creators. He loves us that much. He lets us in because we are able to have the thoughts of Allah, the thoughts of God within us and come through us. We are able to speak the words of God. We are able to make the things of God. I'm not giving man too much credit, when I say that people can be cloned. We are co-creators with God. It's just that simple. We can create with God to make new things. Now, that's that.
God is the creator, and you have to distinguish when God is talking to you from the devil, because the devil is fucking tricky. He's tricky. Okay, God don't tell you other people's business, honey. That's not how our Father works.
You said, first of all, to be careful about the devil, because the devil is tricky. I can agree with that. But to go deeper into that conversation, what is the devil to you? Is the devil outside of you? Is the devil some monster outside of you? Is it some beast outside of you? What do you think the devil is? I'll give my opinion right here and right now. The devil, as I see the truth is, the devil is not outside of us. The devil is an illusion. The devil is fake. The devil is a complete lie, meaning that it is not real. It is a shadow of our lower selves. These words are given to me from a prophet. Okay? And I take those words very seriously. The devil is a shadow of our lower selves. So what does that mean the devil is? The devil is the shadow of our lower selves, meaning that it is basically our lower selves. It is our lower selves acting out. It is when we act from carnal thoughts, when we act from our carnal desires. That is the lower self. The lower self is hatred, greed, slander, lewdness, murder, all those jealousy, all these little bad little attitudes and virtues that we have about ourselves. That is the devil, and that is the lower self. God is separate from all that because God is the truth.
But the devil tells you, and he will try to make it seem as if, these people are this and that. You got to learn the difference between God and the devil speaking to you.
I agree 100% with that. We have got to learn the difference between truth and falsehood, meaning the difference between the devil and God. The devil is falsehood, God is truth. The devil is the lower self, shadow of the lower self. God is the higher self. In the higher self, we are one with God. God and us cannot be separated. We are co-creators. The devil is not a co-creator with God because it is an illusion. It is not real. It is everything that God is not. So how can you be everything that God is not? There is no way to be everything that God is not. But we within ourselves have the ability to do that. We are truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Somehow we have the ability to believe in falsehood and believe in lies and make that real for us, even though it has nothing to do with the truth. Even though it has nothing to do with our reality, we have a way to make those things part of our reality, and that's how we debase ourselves from God. So yeah.
Okay, don't lie on God. Okay.
Oh, and I forgot to respond to what you said about how God doesn't let people know about others' business. I mean, I can see what you're saying about that. Everybody has a right to their privacy. Everybody's lives are unique and you can't know everything about somebody's life. But you can know things about people's lives, and God will let you know in more ways than one. One way is through, sometimes God allows people to read people's minds, like how you say that, you say it later in the video, but people can read people's energies. You can get to know somebody that way. You can learn information about somebody's life that way. You can learn information about somebody by reading their mind. And I say that from personal experience because I actually had a young woman, come up to me reading my mind. And how did I know this? I confirmed it through my analytical discernment. By being a scientist, I was like, is this woman actually reading my mind? And I had to test it. And she was really reading my mind. How'd I test it? I shut up and I started talking to her through my mind. You can call it telepathy. I don't know what it was, but she was reading things about me from my mind. I don't know how she knew things about me. And she even told me that she knew me from another place. I've never seen that woman before. There was things that she was keeping from me, but somehow she knew things about my life, even though I've never met her before. But she met me somewhere before. It was a weird experience, but that's an example of how God does let people know about other people and their lives. That's what we're doing when we're looking at celebrities too. We're learning about their lives because they put it out there and people want to know certain things. Of course, you're not going to know everything, but you're going to know the things that you need to know. The things that God wants you to know, because it's going to help you in whatever way that it helps you, so that it can help somebody else.
God did not tell you that men are cloning people.
How do you know that God didn't tell me? I don't think you have the right to say that at all, because, God can do whatever God wants to do with anybody. If God wants to tell somebody something, he's going to do it. So you don't know that. And another thing to add to that is that if you want questions, you go to God for the answer. So if I want to know something about somebody, I go to God for the answer. Now, whether it's answered or not, that's up to God. But if I get information from that, that's definitely God. I don't care if it comes through somebody telling me a whisper, a secret about that person. I don't care if it comes to me through a book. I don't care if it comes to me through a video by watching YouTube videos. I don't care if it comes to me by actually meeting them in person and talking to them and learning. That's God telling me about that person. So if I want to know more about my favorite rapper, I can learn more about my favorite rapper. Like, that's how. And the way that God is telling me is through I'm a co-creator with God. So as I am searching and I'm doing the work to learn about that question, learn about the question, learn about that person, I am co-creating with God, and I'm working with God to learn that answer.
He does not tell you other people's business. What God has for you is for you. And whatever you go to God and talk to God about, it's between you and God. Just like,
yeah, God does tell other people's business, especially if they need to know. Like if somebody's lying to you and you want to know if that person's lying to you, God will let you know that they're lying to you. That's learning more about that person. Especially if it's a direct answer, a direct lie, like they're lying about where they come from. And you ask guys, like, are they lying to me about where they come from? And God says, yeah. And then he tells you by having a relative tell you that they actually come from this place. That's God telling you about that person. That's how God works.
like anybody else that go to him and talk to him, it's between them and God. God don't, that's the devil work, okay? That's not of God, okay? You got to learn the difference, young man. I'm talking to Solamite Fly.
Solamite Fly.
You seem to be an intelligent young man, but you kind of lost.
I appreciate the comment, and I disagree with your opinion. I half agree with your opinion. Yes, I'm kind of lost, but I'm finding my way back home, as you are, as we all are, because we are all in this journey together to get back towards the Creator, and get back towards God, because that's where heaven is, and that's where all peace and freedom and everything good about life is. So to say that I think you're projecting onto me, you're being a reflection of me. And I give honors to you for saying that, because it just encourages me to learn more and to go harder about it and find more truth, to actually figure out what is true and what is not. So if clones aren't real, I definitely want to know about it. I'm not here to defend that clones are real. I want to know that clones aren't real. But to be honest with myself and to be honest with you, that God is helping me learn more about this world. And like I said, I haven't had any evidence that points towards the fact that clones are not possible. If it's not possible, that means that it might not be happening right now. And I don't believe that is not happening. I believe that is happening right now. But it is possible that it's not happening right now, but they're making progress towards making it happen, or they have the desire, the powers that be have the desire to make it happen, meaning that it can happen in the future. Now, on the spiritual plane, on the soul plane, time is non-existent. So if it can happen in the future and they have desires and they're making it happen, and it's part of God's plan for it to happen, it's going to happen, meaning that it's already happening, no matter if it's in the future, past, or now. It's happening. Everything is happening right now. So the fact that it is possible, why are you counting it out? Don't do that. That's not good.
You're kind of lost. And I see plenty of times that people like Hans Wormhat would make videos and then turn around when people don't agree with him and call them transgenders. And
yeah, Hans Wormhat has done the same with me. I don't put it past him, though. He's in his own little world, but he does have truth to give to people. He talked about his own personal story, and I respect and honor that. I don't know everybody's wrong about something, and we're not perfect. We have things about ourselves. Even me, I have things about myself that I don't like, that I want to work on, and that I'm trying to get better with. But I try my best to be correct and to be right and to be just, to be fair. And with Hans Wormhat, I don't put it past him to the fact that he thinks that I'm, what does he call? Basically, I'm going to just say a transsexual. Because I forget, he says female to male something people. But, he came from a world that's like that. He thinks that most people, I don't know why, but he thinks that most people are like that. And he even puts it on me, But that just comes with the territory, because that's, if it's part of his world, he's going to project that onto other people. So, yeah. But honors to him, too. And
and stuff like that. And he used God's words to slander people. He used God's words to lie. This is not how our Father works. Okay? So don't be one of those people.
I was going to comment on that, but I'm going to let it keep on going. I don't want to be evil.
Who can't distinguish when the devil is talking in God, because the devil can be tricky. Remember, the devil knows everything about God. He knows the word. He knows the word better than any Christian. He knows, because he used to be an angel and was kicked out of heaven. Okay? So you have to really distinguish the difference between our Father and the devil. He's tricky. He would tell everybody's business, but he's like these damn cackling hens. I put it like that. Have you ever went to, been around old people or people who are sending gospel about people? Okay, and
I don't like gossiping about people. That's why I don't even really like talking about celebrities. I do like learning about the world, and I do like learning about people, because people are special and they have special things to give. So I talk about celebrities and I mention them only in ways that that I'm learning something from them, no matter if it's seen or it's bad or it's good, because we all have bad and good things about us. But yeah, I don't like gossiping about people, and I don't like looking for the bad in people. I like seeing the good in people. Let's just get that out the way.
Exactly. So, the whole truth. They try to sugarcoat stuff. They try to. Well, this is what the devil do. He try to fucking brainwash you. So you need to realize you need to stop, and you're telling people if they need to know, ask God. But see, I'm gonna tell you one thing. God don't tell nobody's business. He's not going to tell yours. Okay?
But God has told somebody my business. Now, you can say that person was a demon. I don't know. But, people does tell people my business.
That's the devil being tricky. So you need to really sit down, young man, in a quiet area. Get somewhere quiet and really talk to the Father. Yes, he reveals things. Okay,
Okay, so just to comment what you just said, I always sit down in a quiet area and talk to God. It's called prayer and meditation. And you probably, you're saying that because you don't know me that well. But this is something that I've been doing for years. I think it's been almost over a decade now. I don't know how long it's been. Probably like 8 years that I've been meditating, and that I've been cherishing my quietness. I'm pretty much a loner. I mean, you don't know me like that, so you can, you're going to say that, but if you actually knew me, and people around me know that I enjoy my solitude. I enjoy being in quiet places. I enjoy meditating, and I'm just now learning how to pray and the power of prayer, which is very simple. It's just talking to God, talking to God as if God is your friend, your father, your guide, everything. Talk to God like God is your everything. And That's what I'm learning the power in. And to give you an example of that, if you really want to know how much I'm learning about God and how cool God is and how powerful God is, not even that, but how present God is, go back to one of my videos. Actually, I'll go ahead and show you right now. So I can pull it up. Let me see. It'll be in my channel. I'm gonna just do the work for you right now, so because I really want you to see this, and I think that God wants people to know about God. And in one of my videos, I felt that God has made herself known and present while I was making one of my videos, and basically in confirmation on the topic that I was talking about. So in this video, I'm talking about not being black and stop calling yourself a color because it's debasing yourself from God. And a prophet has taught me that, so that's why I'm reflecting that message. So let's go, where is it in this video? It's down here, I think. It's right here.
Right next to me. I thought he heard what I was talking about. I'm a Moorish American. I said the universe. Because the universe has a universal law that was created by the universal creator. And one of those is to express love. Love one another. It's the greatest way to serve and to love your creator. Because your creator is not, as y'all see, I got my sandals in my hand. I'm not, I'm walking barefoot right now.
What I was just talking about is that I was talking about how the creator is present. More present than you can imagine. You can't even imagine it. So why even think of it? But just know that the creator is very present with you and is always with you. It's always listening and is always with you. And right here, God responds to what I'm saying.
So I can ground for the day. How's it going, sir? How you doing?
Huh?
How you doing?
Good. Are you black?
Am I black?
Yeah.
No, I'm a Moorish American.
Sir?
I said I'm Moorish American.
Nah, but I'm saying though, it said that ticket is right here, so take that.
Oh, not me, not me. Are you black, sir?
Yes, sir.
No, you're not black. You're Moorish.
Anyways, that's just an example of how God, well, let me
American.
continue.
Or you're American at first. Anyways, you see how that happens? I need to work on how I speak. I'm not a good speaker, y'all. I'm working on it though. I want to be better at it. That's why. That's what I do on this channel. But that was divine timing, y'all. This was a limo driver. Drove up right next to me as I was talking about this stuff, guys. Drove up right next to me. I thought he heard what I was talking about. And he asked me if I was black. But he wasn't asking me in the context that I'm talking about it. He asked me because he's a limo driver, so he's looking for somebody called black.
So that was a little cool little synchronicity that happened when I was talking about not being black, and then somebody dressed in black in a black limo comes right up to me out of nowhere and asks me if I'm black. That's the first thing out of his word. He rolls down the window and says, "Are you black?" Think about the craziness that is for that to happen. How rare of that. It's just a synchronicity thing. It was in sync with that moment. And that was nothing but God. You have to give all praise to God, all praise to Allah. Okay? So that was just in response to what you're saying, how, need to get to know God. And, I forgot exactly what your comment was.
He has revealed things to me about my so-called friends, my so-called family, okay? But not once did he tell their business. He was telling me to watch out for people. I can go around people and I can feel a bad vibe, okay? Is there vibes I can feel with the first hello.
Oh, and another thing too, because you keep saying that God doesn't tell people about other people. I don't think you've met psychic mediums and how real they are. I have, and I've had experience with one, and they spoke. I don't know who they spoke to, but I think they spoke to my guardian angel, spiritual guardian angel, and they let her know about what was to come into my life. And she told me things, and she warned me about things, and she gave me advice on how to handle the next few months in my life, even the next few years of my life. And everything she has said has come to pass. So how does she know that? All praise to Allah. That's how she knows. All praise to God, because God gave her that knowledge and that wisdom and that time to give to me.
I can feel when someone is fake. The devil don't tell you that. He will let you go ahead and go on. You know, he know these people are fake, but he don't reveal that. But God will. He reveals.
And I will go ahead and let you know, too, because you keep talking about the devil. As far as I know, and the truth of what I know, the devil to be, is that the devil is us. The devil is within us. It's not us per se. Like, you know, we are actually loving spirits. We are thoughts of Allah. We actually come from God. You know, you can go as far as saying that we are angels of God, which is the truth. But when it goes about the devil is within us. We create the devil, and it's called, like I said, the lower self. So you keep talking about the devil like it's separate from you, and you want it to be separate from you. I mean, not like, what am I trying to say? You just want to know the difference, okay? Because the devil, everything that you're talking about is coming from within you. And I don't know why we have that ability, but we have that ability to act out the devil and act out devilish things, to act out Satan. And I haven't talked about that on my channel, but I will go more in depth into the reasons why I'm saying that and how it affects our daily lives. Because knowing the difference, like you said, can really help us out in our daily lives and help us become better people, and understand the devil more, understand the enemy more. Not really understand it, understand it, so we can overstand it.
Like he revealing to me about KMB and Fearless TV and Hans Wormhead, okay, among other peoples. Like I said, I'm not trying to talk about them right now, but I'm just saying, I have that.
I'll be interested to learn about what you learned about them. Maybe it's in your videos. I'll check out your videos. Yeah, I'm interested in learning about what you learned about those people.
Kind of gift to know when somebody's bullshit, and I think it is the old age too that's coming on me, because I've gotten wiser, and I can tell within the first 2 minutes of coming around someone whether they're fake or not. You know, they put on a show like they ordered this. Now, I could tell who's a friend or a foe. I could tell when someone is a liar, okay? I can just sit up there and just listen to this. I will listen, and I won't say one word, okay? God will reveal that, but he don't tell people business.
So, do you think I'm a liar?
Okay, he just shows you that this person's not right. Now you can keep it moving. Okay, young man. I have to agree with can be on that. Those are not, no such a thing as cloning. A man cannot clone another person.
So, you can agree with can be all you want to, but if you don't think that cloning is real, prove to me that it's not real. And the reasoning that you gave earlier, saying that only God can create, we are co-creators. We can create with God. God uses us to create things. That's why we make beautiful things, because it all comes from God. All the beauty and all the good that we have to give comes from God, the great God. So there's no reason to not say that it's not possible. But if you want to say that, you have to come in a conversation like this, you have to come with evidence instead of just words. Instead of just I mean, not just words, but just saying a statement without actually trying to back it up and give reason to it. You know, make it practical so that I can really comprehend what you're saying and comprehend how clones are not real, so that I can learn and not that I can grow. So if you don't want to do that, that doesn't help me out at all, and it doesn't change my mind about anything, because like I said, I have too much experience and too much evidence that was shown to me that cloning is possible and that it is real, that people, it's happening. Okay, so one example I'll give too, that I had seen personally, was it was not in the context of cloning, but I noticed that their body was being used. Okay, and that's basically how clones work. It's they grow a clone, right, and they grow the body, replicate the body, and it's not perfect, but it's going to look a lot like the person and act like the person by default. But what they do is that they have these bodies, they're empty vessels. They don't have a soul. So these bodies are inhabited and are controlled by other spiritual beings. You can call them demons, but they have as much ability to learn and grow as we do. If they're not, they're stupid and they're just complete evil. But I don't think that about any type of being. I could talk to Satan and show just as much love to Satan as I do my family members. You know, that doesn't mean I'm going to invite Satan in to destroy me, because I understand that, you know, that's Satan, but I do express that love and extend that love to Satan to want to help him. So if he ever does wants to have help, or if he ever wants a hug, I'm there, you know, to do that. And I express that same thing to demons. So demons are real, but because I've seen them possess bodies. They even, I'll go ahead and say I'm not ashamed of it. Demons have possessed my bodies, and I'm not ashamed to say that because that happens to a lot more people than what you think. There are spiritual beings out there that don't obey the laws of God. They don't obey the laws of the universe, and they lie, cheat, and steal, and do all ugly types of things, even take people's bodies. It's called body snatching, and they do it. It happens. When you see somebody and they're just acting like complete, like ludicrous and evil, they're most likely being possessed by a demon. And I have personal experience of that, but to go on what I was saying, I'm sorry if I'm talking fast. I'm excited about this because I like having conversations to people about these things. I don't really have a chance to talk about these things with anybody, really. I just have to keep it all to myself. But I had and like when I had these experiences, I don't really have nobody to talk to about it. I just gotta keep it to myself, because nobody's gonna really understand or want to hear what I'm saying. So I'm thankful for you and making this video. Hopefully you're listening to this. I know it's long. I'm sorry. So I was watching a video of Tila Tequila, and it was just a random video that she was doing. She does vlogs. I think she still does vlogs now, so you can catch her, subscribe to her channel. I think she still does updated vlogs. But to me, I believe that she is a clone based off what I see with her and how much she's changed from her original state when she first came onto the scene. And when I was watching her video, I noticed that, like I told you, there are beings on this planet that we don't even know, that are conscious like us and that can speak like us, and that, that can think like us, but not think exactly like us. But there are other conscious beings on this planet that we don't know about. And what I noticed about her is that while she was doing her video, she glitched. I'm not going to go try to find the video because I think she does a lot of vlogs. So I'm gonna just leave this, to your imagination. Just tell my story for right now. But when I was watching her, she glitched because right at the beginning of the video, right when it started, her eyes, she blinked, right? And then her eyes changed. And it looked like there was an overlay of eyes, and they weren't human eyes. They were kind of grayed out, eyes, but they were bigger than her original eyes, than the eyes that she was looking through. And it was like an overlay of her eyes, and it just stayed there while she was talking. And she would blink, but those eyes weren't blinking. And then it glitched again and it went away. How do you explain that? You just called that a video artifact? That doesn't happen normally, especially to me. I find it alarming that it happened right on her eyes, directly on her eyes, as if there's a being that's like using, to me, like to help me explain what I saw. It looked like a being was using a holographic type of image to put around itself so that it could act like, Tila Tequila, so that it can be Tila Tequila. I don't know exactly what's going on or what's working, but it was more than just a video artifact to me. And to me, it revealed something to me, because those eyes did not look human. It's not like it was just random eyes. It was, they had structure to it, and I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird things like that just help me build a case and evidence, for myself on what's really going on. And to me, that was God revealing that, hey, this is real and that this is actually happening. And that's not the only person that has happened to. And like I said, things like that don't normally happen when people are recording on their phones. Like, I only saw on Tila Tequila that happen. I've never seen it happen to anybody else. Now, you can go and find similar things happening to people if you go look up reptilians. And then people, and under that topic, people do have videos of people's eyes glitching out. But that's the only time that I would find videos like that, if I'm looking specifically looking at reptilian videos. Other times, I never catch a video like that, especially when somebody's recording from their phone. Okay? So those are the things that go through my mind when I'm looking at things. And that's just another piece of evidence that helps me kind of wonder and think about what's really going on in the world. And also, what I'm leaving out is that Tila Tequila is associated with cloning, because she talked about cloning. Okay. So that was, that's also going through my mind too, is that she talked about cloning. She tried to have like a little, people thought she was crazy for a little bit, but, it came from somewhere. Like I'm saying, like, these things are not just, there's truth. You can't tell a lie without truth. You cannot tell a lie without truth, because truth does not exist. I mean, a lie does not exist. Truth is the only thing that exists in this world. So in order to tell a lie, you have to have truth as the foundation and then cover it with a lie. And that's kind of like what I saw at Tila Tequila. Is like there's a truth there, but then it was covered up with a lie. And those eyes revealed some truth about what was being covered up with the lie. Now, that doesn't necessarily support cloning, but it does point to something weird happening there. And like I said, I think it's like she could be possessed, she could be a clone, it could be a hologram, it could be a combination of those things. But I'm interested in to learn more, and I pray to God that, I'm not too interested in that stuff right now because I have other things going on in my life that I need to focus on. But I would like to know more about those things so that I can know when I am interacting with somebody who is, being possessed or not human more often.
Like I said, it's hard enough for them to artificially inseminate and fertilize an egg so a woman can become pregnant. It's hard enough for them to do that. If that was the case, we have a lot of people that's cloned. People that's poor would find a way to go around that shit. It's just like
it sounds like you never heard of test tube babies. Where do you think the term test tube babies come from? I just want to encourage you to open up your mind a little bit more, because like I said, and I keep saying, that There's so much in this world that is possible that you don't understand, that I don't understand. Meaning that things that you think aren't real, a lot of times are real. It doesn't even matter if it happens in the future. If it happens in the future, that means that is real. That means that is, if it's happening in the future, that means it's happening now. Stuff is happening now to make it happen. So much of what you think, if you can imagine it, just is a good foundation for me, is what I always tell myself and I based all of my ideas off of. If I can imagine it, it's coming from somewhere. It's real somewhere. If I can imagine it. Because the reason why is because there are things that you can't imagine that are real.
Selling food stamps, okay? You remember we had paper food stamps? They still find a way to sell food stamps with a fucking card. All you gotta do is go to the grocery store with the person, getting that person a card and let them make groceries. You know, oh Lord. But they know they're doing that. We just don't know who's doing it, okay? I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even get food stamps. I'm not even trying to get food stamps, but I'm just saying, you know, they got EBT now. So they know a way to get around things. You think that people wouldn't, when they find out that you could call a human being, especially if they've lost their loved one, they know how to get around shit. That's not the case, honey, at all. So you need to talk to God more and tell the devil, get thee behind you, because
I just want to pose a question, okay? I don't know if you know if body possession is real, but it is. And knowing that, being witness to that plenty of times in my life, how is it that another being can possess a body, can live in somebody's body and be them and have access to their memories? How is that possible? I know that it's real, so I'm asking that question based off that truth. How does that happen? That's why I encourage you to open up your mind a little bit more, and we can continue this conversation so that we can learn more together.
The devil is tricky, and he is tricking you. He is trying to tell you that cloning exists. You know, he wants you to think that men.
No, I go to God for those questions. I don't go to the devil. I don't praise the devil. I don't worship the devil. I don't go to Satan for answers. I go to God to learn about Satan. I go to God to learn about anything I want to learn. And when I say God, I mean Allah. I mean the Father of the universe. I mean the Most High God, the Most High Creator, the Creator of all things in the universe. That's what I mean. I get all my information from the Creator. And how does he do that? To break it down to simpler terms so that we can understand what I'm saying by that. So we can understand, how God talks to us. God is everywhere. God is everything. So if somebody's talking to me and they give me an answer, that is God talking to me. Now I have to go within myself to talk with God and discern and use discernment that God has given me to know what is truth and what is falsehood. And how do you know what truth is? God is in it. Love is in it. Truth is in it. All things are good are in the things that are of God. So when it's given to you, I look at things from that perspective. So, and from that perspective, cloning is possible and real. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I don't know how else to explain it, but I'm working on it.
Men have the power, but only God has the power. Okay? You saying that you're getting close to God, I think you need to get closer and get to know him before you say cloning exists. Cloning don't exist. You cannot clone a home.
What on this world does not exist? What on this earth, what in this universe does not exist? Can you tell me that?
A whole human being. There is a process of trying to impregnate a woman. There is a process. Even Dollar the sheep was a myth. We found that out a while back. And that's an animal. You think cloning a human would be that damn simple? No.
I don't think that is simple to clone anything. That is you have to have some serious knowledge about the human body in order to do that. And not only the human body, but you know how cells work and how they regenerate, because we do have regenerative bodies that can live forever. So you got to have some serious knowledge in order to do that. So I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm just saying that it's possible, because there are people out there that are very intelligent and very smart, very inquisitive, and learn how to, you know, people that work with life and work with biology, work with cells, work with plants, work with humans, know those things.
You cannot clone a human being. I'm sorry. So if that's what you're thinking, you need to go back and think again and do more research and talk to God like you've been talking to him, and tell the devil to get thee behind you. And I see a little potential in you. I see a lot of the potential in you, young man, but cloning don't exist, okay? God bless you.
So I appreciate that. I did feel like it was a little condescending how you were talking to me. But if you want to say that cloning is not real, I beg you to please help me understand that, instead of just, you know, leaving me hanging. Because you told me to go to God. I've already been going to God. I'm still going to God about it. And there are no thoughts or no feelings of it not being real. So I'll leave it at that. I'm sorry for the long video, guys. And with that, I say peace. Until next time.